Hello everyone. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you are watching the zodiac sign, chances are it is in your big three, right? Sun, moon, rising. But as a reader who fully intends for your healing and highest good always, I'm going to ask that you listen to the messages of each of the 12 zodiac signs and see how the message coming through, no matter how it comes through, see how you can apply it to the house in which that sign rules in your birth chart. How that sign's message can be applied to that area of your life. Keep in mind, Mars is retrograding in Gemini and Mercury is retrograding in Capricorn. Now, Mars is naturally ruled by Aries, and we have Jupiter and Chiron there, and Eris, okay? Aries is in there. And there's a lot that Mars is asking us to reflect upon, right? Retrograde energy, reflect upon when it comes to the face value reality of things, the face value reality of ourself, and how the energy of ourself creates the reality of our experience, and how our woundings, right, how we martyr ourselves, how we create our own discord and disharmony, are really being expanded upon right now for us to see. With Mercury, which is the sign of the mind and perspective and communication, right? It's naturally ruled by Gemini and Virgo, is retrograding through Capricorn, which is about how we do things and how we dictate our path. So between Mars and Mercury, we're really being asked, how did our best thinking get us here? How did our best thinking drive the choices that we made and got us in the realities that we're in? Right? Because retrograding is all about reflection. And we're reflecting on what we were thinking at the time, how we perceived things at the time, what we thought we wanted and desired at the time, and how those thoughts and perspectives drove our actions and our choices and dictating our path and got us where we are. Because if we're not happy with where we are, this is the opportunity we have to realign, reassess, and reevaluate what it is that we really want. How can we put forth better thinking, better perspectives, better thoughts, and create with better actions and dictate our life in a new way to create a new path and open new doors, right? Doors that are aligned with our healing and our highest good. And so as you listen to the messages, keep an open mind and heart listening to the messages. Because mind you, this is the intro that I'm making. I haven't even recorded each of the signs yet. This is just the intro for each of them that I'm making in advance. And I already know that these messages, because we're reflecting on our own actions and our own thinking and our own behavior that got us where we are, I'm feeling like these might not be light, fluffy messages. Okay, these messages are going to be fully intended from spirit for your healing, to get you into an elevated path, on your highest good path, to get you out of old thought patterns, out of old realities that are repeating themselves, right? Same drama, new person, same bullshit, different day. You know, this is all about getting you out of karmic cycles so that you can live a better experience, so that you can heal, so that other people can heal, and get out of repetitive, redundant, old energy. All right, so keep your placements in mind, right? What you have in the different signs and in the different houses, whether those placements are beneficial ones like Venus or Jupiter or North Node, you know, something positively aligned, or whether or not you have a pain body in there, right? South Node, Chiron, Lilith, Ceres, Pluto, fucking Saturn. You know, be aware of what your aspects are. Be self-aware so that you can get the most out of whatever these messages end up giving you. Okay. With that said, we're going to get into the message. So Aries, Aryan energy, the house in which Aries rules. Let's see what's going on, shall we? All right, Spirit. What is going on for Aries, Arian energy in January 2023? What is going on for Aries and Arian energy January 2023? What is the overall energy of the month? Ooh. So Aries, the focus is happy family. Okay, that is what is on your mind. Happy family. This is a family at peace. This is a family in union energy. This is a family that shares the same ideals, the same goals, the same dream. This is a family that is emotionally sound and stable, right? This is the happy family. The energy of this card is wanting not just your own happiness, but the happiness of your partner and the happiness of any children involved. This is wanting peace and harmony when it comes to the family environment, okay? If you find yourself in a place that is disharmonious as of right now with your family situation, or a partner, right? If you don't necessarily have a family or children yet, but, you know, if you did have one, this is how you would want it. You know, you'd want a happy family dynamic. Then you may, and we'll get into the insight, right? But you're definitely focusing on the fact that you want the family, whether you have it yet or not, to be a happy one. Right, that you want a happy family where you, your partner, and your children are all at peace and in a state of joy, that you actually look forward to being in the family situation or family dynamic that you're in. Okay, so let's get into this, right? This is looking for someone who is, you could be looking for an ideal partner, or you may be reality checking yourself because maybe you are not the ideal partner or are creating the disharmony yourself, right? Certain aspects, if you have challenges there, you may be wondering if you will ever have that, if this happy family dream even exists. You know, there may be a lot surrounding it, but happy family and this idea of happy family is what is on your thoughts, right? It's what's on your thoughts. It's what you are being guided towards. So what does this month look like for Aries and Arian energy? We have the Star card. It's Aquarian energy, Uranian energy. What else? We have the Knight of Coins. We have the Ten of Cups, which is reiterating this energy. And the Six of Cups, which is nostalgia or reminiscing. All right, let's get some clarities, please. Clarify the Star card for Aries. We have the Nine of Coins reversed. Clarify the Knight of Coins. We have the Ace of Coins. Clarify the Ten of Cups. Ooh. We have the Three of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Clarify the Six of Cups and the Nine of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. Top of the deck is the King of Wands. All right, so Aries. The Star card with the Nine of Coins reversed. I think what you're healing right now is either this fear or distaste for being single. I think there's a resistance. I'm feeling like there's a resistance to your own sovereignty. Okay, because the 9 of Coins is the independent feminine. It's your heart space, right? Man or woman, it's your heart space. Being sovereign, which means your emotions, your feminine energy, what you are able to receive from the outer experience, right? What you experience in life, being involved with other people, that your feelings or emotions are not dictated by the choices of others. Okay? I will repeat that your feelings do not change because of the choices made by other people. There is a resistance to being sovereign, which is healing, right? It's in need of healing. If you want this happy family, then you really cannot let the choices other people make dictate how you feel. Like if someone chooses to not do this or not do that, and you get frustrated because they're not doing this or they're not doing that, then their choices to do or not do something are causing you to feel frustrated. Either one of two things has to happen. Either you have to do it yourself so that you're not frustrated that it's not done, or you need to find a partner who does it so that that feeling of frustration does not occur. It's self-owning, right? When you are sovereign, you become self-aware in that you take ownership of your own actions and feelings. You can't say, well, someone else did this or someone else didn't do that, and that made me feel this way. It made me angry and I said this. It made me this and so I did that, right? If you're letting someone else's choices dictate how you feel and your actions are out of alignment with your best self, then you really need to take a step back and reevaluate why you are with an energy, why you are aligned with a person who is essentially toxic for you, that you're constantly either having to catch up and take on their slack, or their energy, choosing what they are, is constantly setting your own energy back, right? Then you're with the wrong person. If you're constantly in a state of stress or frustration or exhaustion because someone's energy is nuts and bolts, brass tacks toxic for you, then you need to recognize that for what it is. It doesn't really matter. And it was a video that I caught not that long ago. The guy was talking about, you know, you could have all the love in the world for a person. You could put them on a pedestal and think they're an amazing person, they're a beautiful person, and they have this and they do that, and it's admirable, and you love everything about them, but being with them, you feel like shit. You feel insecure. You doubt yourself. You are putting yourself into a freaking hole to impress this person because you feel inadequate. Like, the end of the day, how you feel around this person is self-doubting and inadequate, and you're insecure, and you are constantly in denial of your own worth because they don't see it, you know. And so it doesn't matter how you feel about them so much as it's how you feel with them that matters. And if they're pulling up a version of you that doesn't feel good to be that version, that you don't actually want to be with a partner that drives you to cheat, or you don't want to be with a partner that drives you to drink, or you don't want to be with a partner that drives you to tears, you don't want to be with a partner that drives you to frustration, then you really got to reality check yourself. Okay. The Knight of Coins, clarified by the Ace of Coins, is about really proceeding step by step in a new direction to start a new foundation. Like, you got to get back in touch with your magic here and what you're capable of manifesting in the 3D realm of things, right? Remember who you are. Remember who you are and what you are capable of creating, and do it with caution. Do it with caution. Like, you don't just want to burn everything to the ground and, you know, there's slamming doors or burning bridges per se. It's just, you need to take a look at what steps you can take. And not taking any steps is not progress, okay? Steps have to be made one at a time. You can't skip steps and you can't go nowhere, but you do have to take one step at a time in creating a new solid foundation for yourself by remembering who you are and what you're capable of in your best self. If, you know, this is pertaining to work, then you have to remember that you are capable of earning, what your earning potential is, what you are capable of doing when you are driven, and the hours that you can put in. You know, if this is a relationship, then you need to remember who your best self is in a relationship and recognize that who you're with is not bringing out the best of you. You might be putting the best actions out for them. Don't forget what your best self for another looks like. But you also have to remember what your best self looks like when you're in a healthy relationship and someone is considerate of you or giving to you, etc. You know, when they're offering things that give you peace of mind instead of taking your peace of mind. Remember what happy, healthy, whole feels like to be and to receive. The 10 of Cups, clarified by the 3 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. If you are in this, because this 10 of Cups is an interesting image. It looks like a tower, right? It looks like a tower. And it's very isolated. There is nothing else around. And the tower itself, if there is a kingdom on top, it's in ruins. It's in ruins. It's worn over time. Okay, the weather has worn it away. If you're in a situation right now where you have become isolated, potentially from your family, right? Maybe you're in a situation where you've isolated yourself from your family, whether it's blood family, soul family, like, right, friendship, soul tribe. You've become isolated. And you're in a third party situation, right? Because the 3 of Cups, I mean, this is where you really have to change fate. The tower or castle on this card is actually intact. With the Wheel of Fortune, it's not in ruins. It's a shining ivory city. Right? And there's this glow coming from the top of the tower, right? Inside the castle here. There's a light there, where that's not necessarily the case here. I think that if you are energetically wrapped up in a third party, right? Because we were talking about resisting being sovereign. If you're wrapped up in an energy outside of yourself, that has you feeling isolated, that has you feeling like this has gotten old and weather worn, the conditions of the experience with them, it's gotten old. It's gotten old. It's beyond reviving. The amount of energy, right, that it would take to revive, repair, renovate a complete fucking castle city in ruin that's a huge task. That's a huge energetic task. It's not that it can't be done, but it's, do you really want a fixer-upper? When you can just change fortune, right, and choose something beautiful instead. Do you really want to take all that time and put it into something that may or may not end up being what you want? You know, maybe halfway through the renovation, you're like, this is way too much work. This is way too expensive. I'm just going to drop it and put it up for sale. Someone else can fix it. It's too expensive, energetically expensive for me to try and achieve this dream here. with this person, with this energy. Because right now, the Six of Cups with the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands is a wounded warrior, wounded healer type energy. And they're probably a sacred soulmate that you've dealt with in past lives or feel a really deep, strong connection to. And maybe you're remembering a really beautiful part of them that just isn't there anymore, right? Because even here, the hourglass, maybe who they were, that beautiful self has been lost to time. That potential, right? That potential is something that was like this beautiful castle once was a beautiful castle, but it's ruined now. You might seriously be in your own wounded healing energy, where you have gotten yourself in a cycle of trying to fix someone. You may have definitely gotten yourself into a cycle of wanting to fix someone, a sacred soulmate who you feel like you've known before in another life, in another day, where you don't understand why you feel so magnetized or gravitate towards fixing them and helping them. The reality is, top and bottom of the deck, the King of Wands and the Five of Cups, like you're driven towards what is essentially a regretful situation. It's the Three of Cups spilled, right? And there's probably a soulmate out there that is solid and new and shining like a beautiful ivory city. And you've got a fixer-upper. You're capable, right? You're capable of healing and not allowing this person's energy to dictate your choices. But as of right now, I mean, what you're looking at is allowing someone else to dictate your choices. And so you've got to really decide what you want to do, because the King of Wands, the King of Fire, is a very sovereign king, to be fair. They have a very difficult time committing to any one person because they are committed to their own self, their own drive. You may be dealing with a person who is very non-committal. You yourself may have actions that are non-committal. You may communicate things that are non-committal. Well, that's just fine. I don't need this job. I'll find a new one, right? Not committed to your job and the progress there. It's fine. I'll just find another one. You may be with a person who's like, that's fine. You don't fucking want me. I'll find somebody else. It's non-committal. You're not committed to making your relationship better. You're committed to letting that person know you don't fucking need them. That's not necessarily going to create a happy family, right? When your partner feels like they're not valued, not necessarily needed, but valued, that you don't value them enough to work with them and make things beautiful, right? It's pretty shitty if one person is working on making the family better and another one isn't. They're working on themselves, but you're not, or vice versa, right? The King of Wands will sacrifice everything and everyone not in alignment with their goals. With their goals, their long-term goals. And that may seriously mean letting go of your demons and your triggers, because the Judgment card is under that. It's a bat out of hell, right? It's a demon literally flying out of hell. The Five of Wands is under that. That's major conflict around the castle. Is probably why it's in ruin, right? If we're looking at the history of things, there is a reason why this castle is in ruin here. Really, the Justice card is under that. There's a reason why it's in ruin. It's because someone needs to come out of their dark night. You or otherwise. Possibly a King of Pentacles, Earth energy. It could be your own earth energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You might need to reevaluate why you're with someone, because if your demons are coming out, you might want to seriously look at your Lilith placement, or if you're dealing with someone else, their Lilith placement and what house that falls in for you, because if there's a lot of conflict and argument or disagreeable energy, or there's confrontation popping up, you know, like between you and other people who really do have your best interest at heart, or someone is turning other people against you, like you really need to separate yourself from that conflicting energy and anybody who would buy into that conflicting energy, and really be sovereign, right? Create distance and say, that's not my mirror. That's not who I am. I'm not wounded. I'm not insecure. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not dishonest. You know what I mean? And remember who you are, instead of having your lower self come out because of other people's choices and behavior. And then just choose your best self. Choose your best environment. Choose your best partner, your best match, or your best workplace, right? However it resonates. And communicate from that place. All right. Aries, I hope that helps. Because for January, the choice for you is whether or not you are willing to take the lead in your life to end irresponsible, reckless decision-making when it comes to the dynamics that you surround yourself with. You shouldn't be at war with anyone in your reality, with any circumstance in your reality. This is about you taking the lead on what kind of life, what kind of story you want to write for yourself. Do you want a fixer-upper? Do you want a beautiful, sold-as-is dream? Do you want to invest a lot in fixing someone else to your own detriment and deal with the struggle and the stress that may or may never end up being what you want it to be, that may become too energetically expensive? Or do you just want to take a leap of faith and let your darker energies go? Do you want to heal what could be your Lilith placement and the sign in which Lilith is ruled by for you? I would take a look at it. Okay. I would take a look at that energy. Catch you in Ophiuchus say. Take care, Aries.